I bought my first house at 22, but I wasn't financially smart at all. Guys, before we get into this next video, I wanted to add a segment called Smart Money Moves. And basically it'll be 2 tips that I give at the very beginning of the video, and then at the very end of the video that I would give someone if I were to start over, or someone nowadays who's just getting started trying to manage their finances and plan for future financial success. My first smart money move would be to choose a career path that's dependable, one that you see yourself enjoying, but one that's also lucrative. Here are 10 career paths that are the most lucrative / dependable. And you guys can see here that healthcare and tech are great choices. Special shout out to the trades as well. I had just become a nurse at 19. I was making more money than I had ever seen before. Fast forward to today, by building over $1 million in assets, mostly through real estate, it didn't start exactly how I'm sure you guys thought it started. Did not handle it well financially. I was not financially disciplined in any sense of the word, and I was literally spending almost all of the money that I was making, check after check. I think a lot of people go through that phase when they start making money. I was still living at home with my parents, not paying rent, spending almost every single dollar I had. But at the same time, I started to realize that most of the people who had a lot of money that I was following, almost all of them had invested in real estate, whether it was buying a house or buying investment properties. Keep in mind, I was 19 years old making decent money. So part of me was excited to be making this money, going out, enjoying it, spending it with my friends, spending it on things that I always wanted. And then the other part of me was always like, you should really use this money for a much better use. And those two things don't go together at all. So ultimately, I made the decision, instead of continuing to just spend money and spend money and spend money, I would invest a good majority of it. And that's when I decided to buy my first house. Now, mind you, it took me about 3 years total to find the house that I live in now. I started the process at 19 years old. I went to at least 2 to 3 dozen house showings. I paid for at least 10 to 12 inspections, which can get very costly over time, but in the end it was worth it. Looking back, I wasn't financially perfect at all, but buying my house was easily the best decision financially that I ever made, even if I was unprepared to do so at the time. In the next video, I'm going to break down fully how I ended up buying my first house, how much I saved, what the process looked like, what my credit was looking like at that time, and also what I would do differently now if I could go back in time. Because I promise you, buying a house in 2026 is a lot more realistic than a lot of you may think. My second smart money move is, when you first get a job initially, you want to immediately set aside between 5 and 20% of whatever your final check is, whether that's through cash savings, a high yield savings account, a 401k, a Roth IRA. Just plan to set aside between 5 and 20% of that money. The main point for this is to make sure that you're getting used to that smaller amount of money, so that you can basically force yourself to save that money. So if you never see it, you never really miss it. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any specific questions or anything like that, please be sure to comment down below. Eventually, I'm going to start picking out different questions in the comments and making separate videos for them in their entirety. So feel free to comment whatever you're wondering, what you're curious about, but I have a lot more content in mind soon to come.
Okay, love you, bye.